Pauline is a self-advocate who loves, just being herself and just trying to, make the world a better place for other self-advocates in general, and like to hang around with her bunny rabbit once in a while. So yeah, and I'm the founder and the creator of the Rainbow Support Group for people with LGBT and disability. So I love doing that, and I love doing all kinds of trainings and speaking, and just love it. So, what makes me happy is helping other people. I mean, being part of something that's changing the world, or doing new things, or being a part of something that's going to be known when I'm gone on this world. I know that a piece of me is going to be left here.
Brian David Peter Kelly.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
53 years old, I'm married, and I live in Milford, Massachusetts.
And do you like living in Milford?
Yeah, I walk around and shoot sound effects when I'm free.
What makes you happy?
Upbeat music without swears.
I am a very outgoing man. I also speak for others. If it's an issue that I am very passionate about, then I take it to heart and try my very best to work around it for the person or people. When I came, when I was baby, I came with biology. My mother got to go home before I did.
My thoughts on human rights is very important because I think everybody has a right to be respected for who they are, what they are, regardless. I also think that human rights is basic.
How do you feel about human rights for people with
Well,
disabilities?
human rights are pretty good. Like I said, I'm married for almost 3 years. Some people are overprotected by guardians.
Can you share more about that?
Like the mothers tell them what to do, run their lives.
People that respect other people regardless.
Explain to them every step that you're doing so they feel comfortable and they feel like Pathways is the agency for them.
Privacy means different things to different people, so like to me, You know, I don't, one thing, I gotta really trust you to say, hey Heidi, why don't you come into my apartment? Because I'm letting you in my little inner circle.
Privacy means having time to myself or with my radio and me. Oh,
What about privacy of your information?
or just you and the person in the consulate.
Should we be sharing your information with other people without your permission?
No,
How should a counselor talk to you about your privacy in that counseling?
not tell the whole world about it.
Tell me if you've ever been asked to sign a release of information.
Like when I go to the doctor, I have to bring a paper in from Open Sky and saying they have to sign it.
And is that proof that they brought you there and home safely?
Yep, the doctor has to sign what it was done, so Selena knows. It's in the record.
I know privacy is important, but I also understand the other side of the coin. The other side of the coin is where staff would go with me. Just to write things down, and then make sure a preface note is written to give more staff the understanding I can see where both sides may say yes, and both sides may say they disagree.
Is it important when Pathways meets with somebody for the first time, is it important for us to share with that individual our thoughts around privacy and how important we think it is?
I believe so.
It doesn't bother me because, you know, it's like I mean, I know my agency, you know, my support person or something like that, you know, she makes she makes all my doctor's appointments. She, you know, when I was having a hard time with my cable bill and everything like that, she got on the phone and talked to them and everything like that. And she goes, there was this one time when she goes, she knew that the bill was high, and she goes, and because I showed her, I said, look at my cable bill, and she goes, so she goes back and she goes, talks to the cable company, and she goes, and she's trying to talk to them. She's on the phone for about 2 hours, just trying to convince them that the bill was paid for, but they don't believe her, and I'm going like, well, that's the cable company. What do you want? And I said, I'm sorry you had to go through that for me. But I mean, that's one of the things that she did, because she didn't have to do that, but she did because she wanted to, you know, so it's really hard, you know, so. Yeah.
What about situations like sexual abuse? Is that something you necessarily want us to share information with her? Do you think a release of information needs to happen?
I mean, I think if it's a really really bad situation, yes, it should be shared and everything like that. It should be known and everything like that. That way, the person can get the help they need for, for the for the abuse or whatever is for sexual abuse and everything like that. Regardless, because sometimes like we keep on saying in our training that sexual abuse is not your fault, but we also want to make sure that they're safe too.
Yeah, I only tell Julie and Selena what needs to be shared, really, and my
Mhm.
mom.
So if your doctor says, I think this person needs to know this about you, are you comfortable with the doctor sharing that information?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? But would you expect that they would give you a release to sign, or could they just share that information whenever they feel like?
I'd accept the release sign.
I would like to have some control over what is released and everything like that if somebody wants to, just so I'm aware of it myself and everything like that, because I think it helps me more better on the understanding what's going to happen, what will happen, and everything like that. So it kind of prepares my mind for like if something does happen, then this is going to like A, B, and C. So it kind of prepares my mind.
I'm not, I'm not trying to say, no, privacy is not
Mhm.
important, but I'm trying to see both sides of it.
You're saying that if you have a support person to do certain things for you, they have to be involved sometimes in some of the information that you're getting, right?
Yeah,
Are you comfortable signing a release of information so we can share information with them?
and if it came down to it, yes.
Yeah.
But I, again, in my own guardian, um, I should tell you the other side of the coin is
Mhm.
if if I am in hospital, that's when my mom becomes the healthcare proxy.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think that is kind of deep, but it's
You okay?
yeah.
That was a big old boy.
Well, sometimes I disagree with that, and sometimes I agree
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. It's a
with
tough
that.
conversation.
I've got the chance to work for my school when I was younger. That is what taught me to help people such as myself.
Be polite like you always are. You guys are great at that.
How would they learn about us?
I just gotta send a flyer out.
Send a flyer. And who would we send that flyer to?
I'll mail them here, and I have friends who would come over to see you guys if they need help.
Is there a certain agency or program we could be sending it to?
Open Sky, HMEA.
Well, I think one important thing is just to be open-minded. Have, I mean, some people, like when I go into your office, I like your butterfly collection that you got behind you because that makes it just look so good and everything like that. But I mean, your office that I know that if I go in there and sit in there, I get focused my mind on that little butterfly thing that you got back there, and I'm going like, I like that. I can sit here and look at that butterfly and get my mind a little off on that butterfly, but still listening to what you're saying and everything like that. And I think that's what a lot of people with disability, they might focus on a color of the wall or the chair or the table.
Like me, show me around the place once, and I get it. Like the bathrooms, I learned that the first day.
And my parents always instilled in me, put other people first before yourself. And that is what I always strive to do.
But you're there to support them and calm them down. Say, like I say, if they have a guardian, they'll say, no, you can't do that. The person's got a guardian. If I could drive, I would, because I was a survivor at one time.
Yeah. You'd probably want to drive everybody here if you could, huh? What's going to help somebody find their way to Pathways if they need our help?
I just tell them 8 Austin Street, Worcester.
Yes, I can probably lead them to Pathways if they need to. Would I be qualified enough to lead them in Pathways direction?
Yeah. We hope you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would. But yet, I hope my talking on the video would help too.
A support person is mainly they get paid to support you, but they have like my support person. I think she's allowed maybe 3 or 4 hours a week with me, give or take. It depends. Yeah. So sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but it's probably about 5 hours. Once or twice a week, whatever. So, but I mean, it's something that I'm used to.
Oh yeah, they'll just wait in the waiting room.
What do we need to know about that person?
They're just my transportation to get me there and back. Selena knows I do all the speaking up myself.
But they're more like, okay, you gotta go grocery shopping. Okay, and so what do you need at the grocery store? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you need these. Okay, then you go to the grocery store. how long does it take you to get in the grocery store and get back out? You know, so compared to a guardian is more of a person that's like, and that's helping you with your life, but they're more in, to a certain point, they're more in control of what you do, say, and other things like that. So, you know, but I mean, it depends on what they're in charge of.
I also train third year medical students, and I say to them, make the appointment either the first part of your day or towards the ending part of your day, so that the person will have enough time with you and to explain what he or she wants to explain. That I could go on for hours and hours, but that is me in a nutshell today.
I think when it comes to scheduling, you gotta know, you know, like, are they at a day program like John, you know, because then you gotta go for the day program and everything like that. Or are they at like some kind of supported living home and everything like that, where they just hang around the house all day and everything like that, you know? Or do they have a part-time job, and who's the job coach that's on the job and everything like that? That might be conflicting with those hours or whatever that you want to meet with them or whatever. Or, you know, it might be, you know, that you might have to, you know, go through DDS and say, well, this person wants to talk to us and everything like that. So it's going to be a little more trickier because, you know, DDS is going to go like, well, you know, we've already talked to them about this and we found nothing wrong. Well, yeah, that's your opinion, but that's not, you know, the person was emotionally and physically, you know, hurt in some way. So you don't think that's okay for them to go, you know, not, and so, I mean, so it really depends, you know.
So there's other people who might be involved in that scheduling then?
Yeah. There's always other people involved and everything like that. I mean, so. Yeah.
I call somebody I know, like Selena, head honcho of Open Sky.
And Open Sky does what for you?
They bring me to doctor's appointments and food shopping.
Mm-hmm. And so if you were to make an appointment, do you need to ask Selena for help to get there?
Yep. All I need is transportation. Well, they call me for the appointment, the people that from the place.
So does Open Skies make the appointments for you, or do you make them and then Open Skies gets the transportation?
Oh, my doctor's office calls me,
Yeah.
and I tell her what day it is.
At the doctor's appointment,
Mm-hmm.
the doctor walked past me, and instead of talking to me. They were talking to the staff. When I said, please talk to me instead, the staff is there to write things down. But they still, the doctor was talking to the staff.
I don't let the disability get in my way, you know? It's just vision impaired.
Yeah. What do people need to know would help them better connect with you?
Like if I'm walking in the dark, I have to watch out for my step.
Yeah. And so if you were to come to an agency, what do we need to know to make this place safe for you?
Make sure there's nothing in my way
Mm-hmm.
or in the person's way or
But that appointment, I felt like I couldn't get my point across all. And come to think of it, make matters worse. The doctor would not take mass health. So guess what? Guess what I had to do? Pay out of my own.
If people with disability, they're usually denied some kind of education, sex education in school. You know, they might not understand it. They might not, their parents might say, well, my son or daughter is not sexually active and everything like that. Well, if they're in the teenage years, they're gonna be sexually active.
To make them aware that we are people too. Look past that chair. Look
Mm-hmm.
past that chair. Look to the person inside the chair. That's the person that's here working with you.